Historical accuracy in books. So, I recently got some feedback from an art reader regarding the use of some British slang by one of my very ancient vampires in A Dream of Blood and Magic. And this person was kind of taken aback or jarred or taken out of the story by the use of the word blockhead to describe someone that's not very intelligent. Um, and so I just wanted to address that a little bit because um, I've always been someone that enjoys historical fiction, whether it's on the screen, whether it's reading books. And I'm also someone that will literally take a dive down Wikipedia or Google and research everything to see how much of the story is accurate or changed a little. I'm always fascinated by that stuff. But I've also shied away from writing my own historical fiction because I know how much research needs to go into it. And I would be mortified if I got anything that was seriously inaccurate. But, when you're writing about ancient vampires, you really can't ignore or you can't, there's no way to bypass the fact that at some point or other, there's going to be some history that slips in. And so when writing A Dream of Blood and Magic and knowing that, I was going to be dealing with really ancient vampires and that one of them was going to be a vampire that has been entombed for 500 years and is revived in, the modern world. When he spoke, I needed to make sure that he matched his age and the timeline that he was kind of frozen in. Now, obviously, if everybody who wrote historical fiction wrote, in the dialect, I guess, that they spoke at the time, we wouldn't be able to understand. Even, if you watch, like, for example, The Last Kingdom, and it took place hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when England was just starting to become England. If they had written the dialogue to match how people spoke back then, we wouldn't be able to understand anything. However, there is still a way that the characters are made to speak and words that they're made to use that gives you that sense of history or that sense of it took place a long time ago. So in writing my vampires, particularly Azrael, who was entombed for 500 years and reawakened in the modern world, I wanted him to sound like a vampire that is kind of still stuck in the past in some way or other. And when using slang or cursing, I wanted to make sure that I stayed away from, too modern of a dialect or too modern of a word used to curse, to describe people. And so obviously I was afraid that, I wouldn't be historically accurate. And I researched it. And so one of the words that came up was blockhead as a slang word that was first used in 1532, which is around the time that Azrael would have been entombed, which means there's a word that would have been known to him, would have been in his vernacular, in addition to other words that he uses in the story to describe people that he's upset with, people that he thinks are dumb, stupid, or useless, when he's upset. And so I just wanted it out there that I took care to research the pieces that are meant to be historically accurate. I play with some things that doesn't really matter if they are historically accurate or not, but there's got to be some validity to it. And I did take a lot of time to research those things. And, I don't take it lightly because I don't like reading fiction where, the history is very off or doesn't make sense, even if it's fiction. And I don't want to be that kind of writer. So I hope that my research comes through and that you see it. And if something doesn't seem right, feel free to email me, feel free to message me like this person did. I take no offense by it. But I do want to make sure that I address it because to say that the word blockhead is not historically accurate, that a vampire that's been entombed for 500 years should know that word, that's not historically accurate. The word wasn't used in 1532, which is around the time that he was entombed. And that is all. Bye.